All right, so if you haven't noticed, there are hundreds of physical properties. We took a day and we just looked at physical properties of matter, and I had you guys do the golf ball, and you guys came up with a lot. Now, the ones that we're focusing on are the ones that are in this list right here. So the ones in blue we'll start with: color, magnetism, odor, hardness, and luster. All of those should be things that you've known from previous years. If you don't, quick rundown. Color is just what the color appears. So is it red, yellow, blue? Magnetism is it can be picked up by magnets, because is it magnetized? So typically those are your metals. Odor is its smell. Hardness, can it be scratched, and what can it be scratched with? So a fingernail, a piece of metal, a diamond. That's kind of how you relate that one. And then luster is its shininess. Is it shiny or is it dull? So if it has luster, it's shiny. If it doesn't have luster, it's dull. So all of those are kind of things that you've known about before. If you don't, that's your quick recap for those. The ones in yellow: solubility, conductivity, malleability, melting point, boiling point, and freezing point, are things we will cover in other objectives, not necessarily this one. So you do need to know what they are, but as far as application of them, you don't need to apply them within this assessment. So solubility is the ability to dissolve. So in COM 1.2, which was your saltwater lab, we discussed and we discovered the relationship between temperature and solubility. Conductivity and malleability are both things that we're going to look at in the next unit. And what we'll look at is the ability to conduct electricity. Can electricity pass through it? That's conductivity. Malleability is if I hit it with a hammer, is it going to be malleable, which just means it bends and it can form a thin sheet? Or is it brittle, where when I hit it with a hammer, it's going to break into pieces or shatter? So typically some things that are malleable would be your metals, and things that are not malleable are non-metals. Melting point, boiling point, and freezing point are all parts of phase changes. So melting point is the point at which a solid turns into a liquid. So when it starts melting, go figure the name. Boiling point is when a liquid starts turning into a gas. And then freezing point is the exact opposite of melting, and we have a liquid turning into a solid. All of those are identified by temperatures. So what temperature are those at? Again, those will be things that you will cover more in this unit, but it's COM 3.1. Viscosity and density are what you're going to see hard in this objective. So viscosity and density, you guys did labs for all of those. Viscosity is the resistance to flow. So if something has high viscosity, it has high resistance, which is like syrup. Okay, low viscosity, low resistance, water. Density is the relationship of mass to volume. So how much mass is in a given volume? We can calculate that by doing mass divided by volume. A way to remember this is density equals, wait for it. Sorry, that's a really bad heart, but love. Density equals love. So what does that even mean? So I talked about the relationship to mass to volume, or you just divide mass, which is the M here, by V, which is volume. So if you can't remember the relationship of density or the formula, just always remember density equals love, mass divided by volume, and that will stick with you. All right, let me know if you have any questions.